Hi, my name is Martha. I'm a clinical sexologist with a doctorate in human sexuality, and I'm from Eros Coaching. That's Eros coaching.com. I have a radio show called Eros Evolution, where I interviewed Dr. Jakob Pastoetter, who's here with us today, and decided to do this video series to let more people know about him and his amazing work and his words of wisdom when it comes to sexuality. So he's a very, very esteemed person. He's been in the field of sexology for more than 15 years now. And in a previous video, I interviewed him about the concept of sexuality. And in this video, I wanted to ask him about how Eros to him is different from sexuality. So he's been teaching and touring for the last 15 years, like I mentioned, doing research, media work, sex, couple, and live counseling. He's also available via Skype. And he is the president of the German Society for Social Scientific Sexuality Research. And he does organize the prestigious biannual conferences relating to sexuality in Germany. And he's been providing binational couples in English and German via Skype since 2014. So welcome.
Welcome, thank you.
Yes, later I'll announce your websites. Okay, so what to you is the link between, we're talking about Eros. So my company is called Eros Coaching. My radio show is called Eros Evolution. So I'm very interested in Eros. And how is Eros different from sexuality for you?
You know, sexuality as concept is a very young concept. Even the word is a very young one. Although people did the same things since centuries and millennia, actually sexuality as a concept only generated in the mid of the 19th century. And it was also a German concept, more or less. And I think that still shows today. Before that, you didn't talk about sexuality. You did talk about love, you did talk about Eros, about what is erotic, and you talk about how to make love. And strangely enough, all these aspects have diminished a lot since sexuality has been developed. And in many regards, I think it has to do with two aspects. First of all, Eros is not for the weak of heart. You have to be a grown-up adult to realize what Eros is. Eros is nothing for children, Eros is nothing for teenagers. And the concept of sexuality is like a very tiny form of what should be a very, very big form. It is a reason that in all religious traditions you have initiation. That means you come from a very low level and are becoming more initiated the longer you do something. The more practice you get and the more experiences you are gathering. And this is absolutely true with Eros. When we start discovering sexuality as a very important force of life, mostly when we become teenagers. Before it is a little different, of course, we can experience body pleasures, but you know, when the hormones are turned on, there is another quality. It's not just a body pleasure, it is more like experiences like experiencing what actually new sexological research is rediscovering. It is almost a form of trance you realize. And this connection between body pleasure and trance leads directly to spirituality. It is a way of discovering that your own body does not only can give you pleasure, but it can also give you enlightenment. It empowers you. It sounds so weird today, where we read so many articles, so many news about sex every day in newspapers, and we can watch sex shows on TV, we can watch porn. The feeling that Eros is some kind of awe-invoking power has almost completely diminished. It's just a commodity, consumer's item, nothing more. But when you read the ancient texts about how gods deal with what they call eros, what they call love, it is almost obsessive. You have to follow a path. Today we want it easier and easier. We don't want the pain which is very often involved in loving relationships. We just want some kind of sexual relief. But that's only a very small part. And what we see in so many couples, they have lots of sex actually, but they never develop a connection to each other. They regard the body of the other person just as a kind of, well, artificial medium of getting pleasure. It's almost like they don't have sex together, they don't make love to each other. They use the other person as a kind of masturbating device. And you see, I think this is the main difference between sexuality and eros. Sexuality doesn't know the difference between masturbation, which is pleasurable and nice and fun, and the connection between a male and a female, or two males, or whatever, in a sexual relationship. It is something much grander, because it enlightens a spark, it gives power to you. And all the ancient texts, what the Greeks have written, what the Romans have written, what is in Taoist literature, or in the Kama Sutra, tells you that actually every time we make love, it is a kind of worship. It is a kind of path to enlightenment. Even the Old Testament has a very unique word for what is going on when a man and a woman have sex together. And I'm sure this is also true when two males or two women have sex together. It is the word they recognize each other. And I think this recognizing is much beyond the pure body aspect of sexuality, you recognize also the soul of the other person. And so I really plead for not neglecting these aspects because they give depth to the sexual experience. They make sex meaningful. But you can relax. It is nothing you can do as teenager. It is nothing you can do as young person. You have to develop a taste for it. And that means truly recognizing the other one and not just having sex, but making love to each other and recognizing each other that way.
Beautiful. This is so beautiful. So I just want to try to summarize what you're saying. What you're saying is that sexuality, the word didn't really exist until middle 19th century. And this was the evolution of sexuality that started in Germany and really later on caught on with Kinsey and all the other people who did sex research in the United States. And what you're saying is that Eros, the concept, is really not meant for teenagers, not meant for adults. So much more than physical sex, which is what we're exposed to as teenagers, much more than self-pleasuring yourself when you're by yourself and or using your partner to express your sexuality. Eros is about recognizing each other every single time you're with that person. So it is using our sexuality as a form of evolving our spirituality so as to evolve. And it can be used as a form of worshiping each other.
Exactly.
Beautiful. So I also like what you said about this is about acquiring the taste for it. So there are people that I know of who are so caught up with the physical side of sex, having different varied experiences, having multiple partners for the sake of excitement, going from one partner to the other in the form of like conquest or lust. And at some point, they ask themselves, what's next? What else? And they themselves get bored. They feel that maybe they've seen it all, they've done it all, and this is what sex is. But actually, unless you really understand the essence of the link between sex and spirit and really start to delve into it, I think that evolution is not really going to happen. Exactly. So I really love what you're saying about having an acquiring that taste. So this is an amazing video for me. I really like what you shared. And so this is part 2 of 3 that I'm doing with Dr. Jakob Pastoetter. And you can find him at sexology.org. That's sexology with an IE instead of a Y.org. And you can find him on facebook.com/Eros Arising. And he's going to have another website called Live Your Sexuality. That's LIVE, your sexuality. Is that right?
Live your sexuality.
Live your sexuality. Too early in the morning. Okay, so let's end this video and then we'll make another one.